Hi everyone, welcome to the Finance Story, our Career Insight series. So, in the past few months, we've published several articles covering various opportunities in the UAE. But the question is, what factors are driving this growth? So, to give us an overview of the UAE market, we have with us Bhavesh Raichura. So, Bhavesh is a finance director at the Total Office in Dubai, and he has been noticing the development of the UAE market for almost a decade. So, Bhavesh, thank you so much for joining in. Okay, so Bhavesh, my first question for you is, can you tell us a little bit about your journey? When did you move to the UAE? Why did you move to the UAE? And I think it's almost a decade. So, could you rewind a little and tell us?
So yeah, I qualified as a chartered accountant in 2004, and that's the first time I came to UAE. Initially, it was a stroke of luck. Like Gulf was not so popular destination, at least in Gujarat and Mumbai. Maybe in South, it was still a popular destination. But when I came here, I felt the vibrancy in the place. I felt ease of growing here or comfort of growing here, and that's how I joined Isa Saleh Algar, one of the leading group, like top five group at that time. As part of internal audit, I was fortunate enough to turn around a loss-making company into profit-making company as early as 23 and a half in my career. So I was 23 and a half, and that was the kind of opportunities which I got. Like working with Mr. Isa also was great opportunity. So 2005 to 2007, I was in UAE. Then 2007, I went back to India, came back in 2013. 2013, I came, and again, I could feel the same energy, same support from the economy in every way. Like, I remember when I came on Thursday night, Friday, Saturday being holiday. Sunday was the first day, and I got 11 calls for interview. Like, I reached out to 927 people, and of that, 11 people wanted to interview me. 12th day, I got the job. So I always felt that, when you reach out in a right way, there is enough opportunity in this economy. And my understanding of the economy says that this place has lot of money and lot of appreciation for good skills in finance.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Bhavesh, you reached out to 927 people. That's what you said, right? So, we'll cover this part in the second half, okay? But the most important question is, okay, can you tell us like what's happening in the economy? What's the market like? We see so many job opportunities. We see people from developed countries, looking at the UAE and actually moving here, be it Canada, be it US, be it Australia, be it New Zealand. Okay, and of course India, Pakistan, and the other nations too. So, what are the drivers of the economy that you observe, which is creating so many job opportunities, which is creating the surge and the popularity of the region? If you could just elaborate on this.
So, I'll distribute the answer into two parts: what's happening in UAE and what's happening in rest of the world. So, what's happening in UAE? UAE for long before 2013 at least was a oil and gas play. And oil and gas still is a strength of the economy, right? When you see UAE dishing out 3 million barrel per day at 90 or $95, it's a lot of money which is floating in the economy. It creates liquidity within the economy. And current situation is in OPEC. Saudi has cut down 1 million barrel, which creates a shortage, and there is a structural strength in the pricing for oil. So oil can go to 100 to $120. That's immediate. Like, you can see it $100. We are almost there, and we can think of $120 next year, which is very big money. Apart from oil, there is a gas economy. UAE is working on a lot of exploration, which will come out in next year. So that obviously adds to the strength of the economy. So UAE has four big pillars of strength as far as economy is concerned, oil and gas being the first one. Then second is real estate sector. As you know, real estate price have moved up between 20 to 50% in last one and a half years. Like we had a launch of Palm Jebel Ali. Technically, it got sold out within hours, and you can understand after Palm Jumeirah, this is the next big development in Palm, right? So the kind of money which is getting in the real estate, every project which is launched, like we are not talking about the projects which are completed. We are talking about projects which are launched and are fully sold out. So what happens, say for example, most of them are under payment plan where you have to pay either 50%, 70%, or 100% on construction. So money is getting secured at a particular pricing. Say for example, Palm Jebel Ali is at 2,500 dirham per square feet, whereas the construction cost in the best of the scenario with entire infrastructure will be between 800 to 1000. So you can understand the kind of profit which real estate as a sector is making. And once you have a commitment from the buyer. So I was talking to a project director in real estate sector, and he was telling me that they are getting 20 million bonus to complete a particular community of villas in 6 months advance. So say for example the deadline is 25 December, so if they complete by June 2025, they get 20 million dirham bonus. So this expedites the construction activity. And construction is the activity which takes a lot of other activities, like we do furniture. So wherever the building is built, furniture is required, kind of thing. But apart from that, there is the steel requirement, cement requirement. So there are other requirements. And when this construction is going at this particular pace, you need project managers, you need project accountants, you need cost consultants, you need a lot of people apart from laborers, like apart from architects, interior, and hardcore construction workers. So this creates a lot of influx of people. Also, real estate has also created a lot of liquidity in the market, and price appreciation has created a lot of support for optimism in this sector. So oil and gas, real estate. Now third sector is banking. Interest rates are so high, and UAE banks are sitting on tremendous assets. Like banks are reporting billion plus profitability. Like if I see 5-6 years before, these banks were talking about quarterly profit of 300 million. Now they are talking about 1 billion. So you can understand the pace of, because there is free oil money sitting in few of the Abu Dhabi banks, be it National Bank of Abu Dhabi or ADCBs and all. So this money gets lent. So all these banks are sitting on very sizable profits, and the banks balance sheets are not weak. Like in past there were situations where NPA situation are high. Fortunately in this cycle the interest rates has moved fast enough so that still we don't see that pressure in banks asset quality. So banks are third sector. Fourth is tourism. If you see all the, like whether the number of people coming to Dubai airport, or whether the number of tourists or number of hotel rooms, you have to understand UAE has 1,80,000, like hotel rooms are anywhere between 100,000 plus to say 1,50,000. India as a country has 1,80,000 hotel rooms, 4-star, 5-star. So this place has quite built for very heavy tourism. And tourists are coming back. Like after COVID there was a lot of this tourism which started at a pace where people were locked into their houses and they want to move out. So we still see, like this was first summer where Dubai was looking little choked, like in
Yeah.
terms of capacity. When I go to DIFC or say in that area, typically I get to hear about traffic jams even in morning, evening, the kind of events which are happening. And this conference tourism happens. Like people are coming from India for various conferences, people are coming from rest of the world. So here fortunately all the four pillars, like barring manufacturing is a little bit still picking up, but barring manufacturing, all the other four pillars, oil and gas, banking, real estate, and tourism, are doing fantastic. Last year we clocked 7.8% growth. This year government is projecting 3.9, and I'm very sure, very confident that it will way past. Like the government is trying to be conservative, they will do much better than 3.9 at the end of the year, because they might not have anticipated this kind of oil prices or this kind of influx in real estate and stuff. So Dubai government recently reduced their debt level by 29 billion after putting their public debt management office in last 16 months. This is quite a comforting story, because Dubai always was considered slightly more leveraged compared to rest of UAE. And fortunately, we hear this story. It gives a lot of comfort to people. Also, this is one of the most secure place in the world. Like, when we see rest of the world, they have their own challenges and their own situation, either slowing growth or a demographic situation where you don't get laborers for doing the industry. Like, Europe has this problem. You don't get good talent. The UAE has very flexible policies on visa. Like today morning, I was reading an article saying that GCC wide visa will open up. So apart from like golden visa did the master stroke, like when COVID came, real estate prices were falling. A lot of people took advantage of it. But when golden visa came, people felt more secured. So say for example, I did not had golden visa before, and I wrote 1 or 2 articles on why unemployment insurance should be part of UAE economy, way it is in Canada, US, or anywhere else. And fortunately, post COVID, government came with unemployment insurance. They also extended the visa tenure from 30 days. Like previously, before 2018, if you lose the job, you had 30 days. So a productive employee, which is very effective in a particular role. If he loses the job after 30 days, he goes out, a fresher comes in. You have to train that person for culture of UAE. You have to train that person for knowing UAE well. He has to get driving license, other skills for this economy and so on, which is loss of productivity technically. So government came up with 3 months and 6 months extension after you lose the job. They came up with unemployment insurance, which covers at least their family for some time. And then they came up with golden visa, where a lot of people bought property and real estate got a lot of support from there. So I think this year compared to last year, 150% increase in golden visa issuance is there from government side, which makes people permanent. Like when COVID happened, 1 million people left UAE. And I remember going to Dubai parks and resorts, and it looked so empty. And you have created such a beautiful infrastructure. Dubai is world's highest infrastructure, as we spoke in past also. Like I meet people from rest of the world, and they say this place has highest infrastructure per capita compared to rest of the world. So if there are no people, then there is no meaning for this infrastructure, right? Everything will get rusted at some point. So fortunately, government came in with golden visa. A lot of people made this place more permanent home by buying real estate, by being a part of economy. A lot of people can start the business once their visa is sorted and stuff. So that gave a lot of strength. Yeah.
That's amazing. And Bhavish, what about you were talking to us about Etihad Rail and a lot of other infrastructure developments that are happening. Would you want to cover that as well?
Yeah, so UAE always was very pro infrastructure. Like I remember one of the interview of Sheikh Mohammed where he told, once we build, this was during metro. Like when the metro was getting built, I remember he telling that once we build the infrastructure, people will come. And since that day, I have always observed, like first metro came in 2009, and then the kind of roads, kind of infrastructure. Like when I came in 2004, there was no JLT, there was no marina. Like technically there was Emirates Towers, Al Quoz, and then Jabal Ali interchange to or something. Like it was pretty straight road, not too much of buildings and stuff. But every time he created infrastructure, I remember Dubai being a fantastic host. A lot of people come in all the time. So Etihad Rail itself is 50 billion project. So the kind of boost it will give to logistics of this country, like a lot of trucks which are on road will go off, which will help even the sustainability angle, plus the pan GCC connectivity which they are creating with visa and visa flexibility. This will create lot of investments coming within the region, like inter-region investments will grow. Saudi has a lot of money. Once you are allowed to come here, expats are allowed to have visa free entry. They will come here, they might buy some property, they might invest in some business, there might be a collaboration possible between a UAE business and Saudi business and so on. So GCC is creating economic union. So Etihad Rail is part of it. It will connect to Oman, it will connect to Saudi borders, and then Saudi will have its own connectivity. So all of this infrastructure also, first it brings down the cost of doing business for people, and second it creates money in the hands of people in different ways. Like people get employment, people obviously spend that money, and that money rolls into the economy, right?
Amazing. Bhavesh, we cannot miss corporate tax. Like I know with corporate tax, there has been an influx of businesses and there's also been an influx of candidates joining in, not only at a fresher or mid level, but at a very senior level as well. So how has corporate tax like impacted the economy? If you could tell us a little bit about that.
So, I believe that, lot of corporate tax drum beating started very early, unfortunately. Like government just came out, and then a lot of people started talking about impact analysis and this and that. And I appreciate all of that. But the point is they started drum beating, and suddenly government was still not ready with the regulation. And government was very clear. They are coming on first June 2023 onwards on a financial year basis. So they were properly in time according to them. But because the kind of buzz which was created, after that there was a slack. So a lot of people came here with corporate tax without having a formal law in place, formal guidelines in place, and now everything is in place. And when I talk to people, there is still lot of challenges in terms of interpreting, in terms of planning, structuring, in terms of doing business. And we are still away from formal compliance, right? So
Yeah.
once we get first year and then 9 months when people are paying taxes, and that's where people will start realizing my structure is not efficient. Business wise, people are focused on business, so they think there is a tax, okay, we will pay. When they start understanding that we can have transfer pricing issue, better we improve our structure or make our structure efficient, or better we plan it in a particular way, there will be lot of work which will be coming. And as the next year starts, a lot of senior level roles will be required, because currently what we are seeing is very junior level employees came in, and few of the existing consultants have tried to cover it, but there will be very senior level discussions or senior level structuring which will happen on group level basis. Also, there are a lot of capital market activity happening, like a lot of groups which have past 30-40 years, like Al Futtaim or Al Ghurair and all. They are now talking how to give this business back to the next generation, and they are talking about how to do a public IPO of it, and government wants capital market to be grown in a particular way. So once that starts happening, there will be a lot more MISs, there will be a lot more board meetings. Like currently what used to happen, any board meeting is technically not happening, like in a private space especially, board meeting was just a part, but now there will be formal board meetings happening, formal MIS is shown to the people, there is a listing compliance required, also the compliance on AML, other sides are growing. So there will be a lot more senior, mid senior level people will be definitely required to cover this capital market activity, be it on issuance side, be it on managing that, like whether to invest in that particular IPO, so analyst or CIO or a fund manager kind of roles.
Okay, okay. And Bhavish, what about family offices? We've seen there are so many HNIs, ultra HNIs, family offices being set up in Dubai. So, can you elaborate on that as well?
Yeah, it is more of a function of what is happening in rest of the world, like Russia Ukraine war. And because of that, lot of CIS countries have started getting worried being in that place where they cannot do business or they can't do investing because of sanctions and other reasons. So lot of those are moving to Dubai, and I hear from lot of my friends that these family offices wants to buy, like suddenly you get money which is of size, and they say put it in real estate or put it in say particular market, and it becomes difficult. So any relationship manager or any CIO wants to ensure that today client is aggressive, they want to somehow put money somewhere, but in a long term it has to make money for client, it has to be like compliance wise, every angle it has to be covered well. So a lot of family offices are coming to Dubai, not only from CIS countries, also Europe is having its own challenges. So a lot of European family offices are moving to this place. This place is no personal tax, corporate tax is limited, still doesn't impact directly for family offices kind of investments to a great extent. And in that also, this place has everything where you can bring your family now. Like in past it was mainly for coming bachelor or a single and doing the
Making
job,
money.
sending money
Yeah,
back. But
yeah.
now overall infrastructure is created, there are enough amusement park, there are enough good schools, there are colleges, like a lot of universities have come from west to UAE. So people like to move lock stock and barrel, literally a lot of people are moving with their families and enjoying the place. Obviously infrastructure is great, so all of these things are adding Dubai's attractiveness to a large extent.
Amazing. I have personally seen it. I've seen so everyone who I know have come for a holiday to Dubai. They are, or they're even buying houses, or they're even open to the conversation that okay, why are people investing in real estate, which used to not really happen earlier. Right? So this everyone is attracted and wants to know ki, what's happening. So Bhavish, like, what would you tell people who are looking for opportunities over here? Like they should really consider the place. It's actually going in the positive traction. It's not just in hype that's happening, right?
So yeah,
Yes.
there is a lot of fundamental strength in the economy. So previously the oil was 60, 70, or 50% of the economy. Now we can say it is 20, 25, or 30%, but still, like other areas like real estate, like banking, or other things are equally moving. Like tourism is moving very high right currently, and lot of other strengths are there. There is lot within the levers of government to support. When we say 25% debt to GDP, nowhere else in the world you get this kind of debt to GDP with zero tax environment and salary structures which are amazing. Like I was looking at one of my Itihad bureau report where it was saying my expense to my total income is 37%. Where else in the world you will get, like, after ensuring full family is happy and comfortable, you're talking about 37% expense to income ratio? Nowhere else, because entire west has 30-40% tax. So net of tax you don't save more than 10-15%, very honestly. Also, there are a lot of social security reforms which are happening. So government is now slowly, voluntarily making it possible for people to have their pension plans done in UAE. because elsewhere capital is not safe, be it Europe, be it US. There's a lot of challenges and volatility in Western markets. Interest rates have gone from 1.5 to 5.5, which does not make sense. So that is affecting other asset classes and valuation. So government is trying to make their own ecosystem here for pensions, other things, so that people can stay after retirement also.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, Bhavesh, from what I understand, the market right now in the UAE is fundamentally strong and it's only going to grow because that's what you've seen from 2013 or from 2004. It's only growing. And those moving here, should consider the place and it's okay. It's not, there's not going to be any, layoffs as we're seeing in the other parts of the world because we get a lot of questions from people saying, hey, now the market is good. Are the layoffs going to start? Because we see that in the US, India as well to an extent.
Here
So,
there is a big time poaching going on. I get 10 calls from a recruiter every month, and I'm passing on to my friends, and they are also not interested. So if I call somebody and say this might be good opportunity, he was like, I got from here, I'm not taking it. If you want, I can give you one, kind of situation at this stage. Like, especially when I speak to senior level people, everybody is having few offers, I think, at this stage.
okay. So it's a good market to, it's an absolutely good market to be here, and people should consider, they should move here and consider the opportunities rather than being in their home countries.
But people have to understand the risk reward scenario. You cannot sit in India, get your salary, and then you want 3x salary from UAE. It doesn't happen. You have to take some level of risk, right? You can try to find out way to get leave in your current job, move out, apply here, find some job. I know a lot of friends who moved doing these things, like they put notice period afterwards. So I don't know what suits you. If you are a senior person and you are expecting only 2x, that will happen provided you have 60 days visa. You come here and apply as if you are giving your final year exam. That sincerity is required in terms of reaching out to people, in terms of networking with HR, networking with senior management. Go to some social events, ensure that you do entire thing. And if you do only one thing of the five things which are required, obviously you will not get results, right?
Amazing. So, with corporate tax, Bhavesh, we'll take the other questions as well. But with corporate tax, do you see, like you're the finance director at the total office, so do you see hiring another tax professional? Do you see groups like the total office, okay, and its kind, hiring for tax professionals as well, or it'll be the finance director who will also look into the tax part? Like, what's your take on it?
So, any senior finance guy do not want to learn tax, very honestly. Like, I speak to I am still young, but I speak to a lot of senior finance people, and all of them say tax is something I can't even understand or I don't like. And, they are creating tremendous value doing what they are doing. So,
Yeah.
management will not question them, are you learning the tax or are you doing the compliance? He can straight away go to management and say that I'm hiring a third party consultant. See, I have Saudi operations. Like, we recently entered Saudi market. Now Saudi has slightly different way of working. They have e-invoicing, they have tax collected at source, they have tax which is 15%. So if you do a mistake, penalty is higher, right? So all those taken together, in Saudi I am hiring a consultant. In UAE I spoke to consultants. I am trying to find whether I need to hire a consultant, but all the senior finance professionals are hiring somebody or the other, whether it's an in-house tax manager, whether it's a third party tax consultant, or whether somebody is only overviewing their existing staff for transfer pricing, compliance, this, that. So different groups have different strategies, but yes, people will be hiring, if not today, maybe in some time. So whether it's after first 6 months, after getting first penalty, or after getting first letter from FTA on transfer pricing, people have to hire tax
They have
people.
to. They have to hire.
And a lot of practices has to change, because currently everything was sales oriented, everything was easy. Whatever few people say, people were doing. Now as compliance start increasing, if you don't do, you have penalties, you have challenges in your business tomorrow. So there will be those people required who can stop you from doing what is not acceptable as per compliance.
Okay, amazing. And congratulations for starting in the Saudi market. Bhavish, you are also the finance director of Love That Design, right? Which is another startup which belongs to the Total Office group in a way, right? So, would you want to talk a little bit about the startup ecosystem? Because a lot of people want to know, hey, can I be a part of startups in the UAE and how is it growing? Is it safe? And what's your view in whatever
So,
information?
UAE, fortunately, compared to any other economy, this place has a lot of ease of doing business. So, a lot of startup come here. The problem is market size is limited. So, if you have any startup which is getting their customer from abroad also, like, outside UAE, be it Saudi, be it, say, West, or be it India, then it works pretty fine here. But a UAE specific startup, I have seen them feeling quite a challenge. But as long as you are coming and joining as a financial analyst of the company, or somebody who is helping them as a finance business partner, helping them to raise money from somewhere, or you are just creating one more startup where you think there is enough niche and business, this place is fantastic. Like, we are there for last 6 years, and people say your initial test of company running fine is first. After 1,000 years, 1,000 days, there is much lower chance of failing, right? So
Yep.
we passed that 3+3. Yeah. So now business models are becoming more robust. There is enough confidence in what we are doing. Market is accepting it well. Since the Fed has increased rate very fast, valuation still doesn't come exactly where they should be. But I'm hoping next 1.5 years we will also talk about round of fundings and other stuff.
Absolutely, I'm so sure. So, Bhavesh, all in all, it's a good market. Of course, there's also going to be a little bit of a downside, but if you look at things on the positive aspect, capital markets are still very new and it's really going to grow, right? There's going to be a
Yeah.
significant
So
odds.
lot of public listings will happen from Abu Dhabi. Adno Group is listing lot of companies, right? I hear from a market that Abu Dhabi Mubadala is coming up with very big investment management firm. There is one more big investment management firm which is coming up in Abu Dhabi, Goldman Sachs type investment management firm, where a lot of investment professionals will be attracted from rest of the world, because you can't have this kind of pool of people, right? People who understand real estate or read to equity markets, to funds, to fund of funds and structures and all of that. So a lot of really good talent will be attracted, especially in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, for this kind of activity.
Yep.
Be it IPOs of erstwhile family firms, be it government entities in Abu Dhabi, and all the capital market reforms requires a lot of finance professionals for sure.
That's amazing. Any closing message that you want, to share with others?
So, since I have come in 2004, I have always found this place has enough opportunities for people with a good skill. And I think, especially the finance skills required here, like, lot of non finance people are doing finance here. Like, I met a family office where a person who is neither CA nor MBA nor even a BCom, I have a very close friend, and she is a chemical engineer and she runs a big investment firm. And every time I see all of that, I feel we have a shortage of finance people. That's what I feel every time. I genuinely want to say, good people with good skills just need to reach out to right people, stay there, and ensure that you get the job. It cannot be the situation that you don't get the job in this market. Like, there will be at least few thousand openings at any moment in economy of this size. So yeah, there is enough for everybody.
So yes, Bhavesh, I mean, thank you so much for the time. I and the readers, everyone got a clear understanding of, the market exactly, because we always hear, hey, you know what, there's so many job opportunities, but the big question was why? Why is there such a opportunity happening and what's happening in the market? So you really helped us clarify, and get an understanding. So thank you so much for the time.
Happy
Yes.
to happy to be part of it.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Bhavesh.